Junior High, it's Lainey and Saya, and today we will be talking about women's safety and respect. The reason we decided to talk about this topic is because it's important to know the negative effects disrespect can have towards women. And this is also a part of our episodes of podcast, our series, that we raise awareness for just topics that affect middle schoolers and early high schoolers and just everyone in general, but just things that we need to raise awareness of. So I'm here with Saya. Hi, Saya.
Hi.
We took a little survey just around some girls in our school, mostly 7th and 8th graders, because we're kind of focusing on the 7th and 8th graders here. So anyway, our first question was, do you have social media? And I would say about 90% of the people that we interviewed said they do have social media. And that's just kind of a basic question starter because it just shows you that most of these girls have social media, which means they can be exposed to a lot more things. And it means that there's just more opportunities for them to be pressured into things that they don't want to do.
Yes, social media can be a very dangerous thing to young girls and even adult people, but because there's a lot of things I can expose you to that aren't really exactly appropriate for this age or just in general.
The next question, our third question, was, have you ever talked bad about another girl? And like I said, I would say 95 or 96 or close to 100% of the girls that we interviewed said yes. And I'm pretty sure at one point or another, every girl has talked bad or said bad about another girl. And it's just, we never want to do that. And we don't want to make you feel guilty because me and Saya can definitely say there have been times where we've been guilty of talking bad about another girl. You're not alone. And just like everybody in this school. But we just want to be conscious about that and know that that can have an effect on people. And respecting women means that women also have to respect other women.
Yes. You have to be a girl's girl and support people instead of trying to bring them down.
Yeah. Okay. Our fifth question was, have you ever been asked or pressured to send inappropriate or uncomfortable content to somebody else? Now, on this one, it was we had a lot of mixed reviews. I would say a little bit under half of the people said yes, which it's a little more than I expected. A majority of the people did say no, but it's not like 90 of the people said no, or 90% of the people said no. We still had quite a few answers of yes that they have been pressured. This also ties into our seventh question. Do you personally know somebody who has sent this kind of content? And 90% of the people, again, said that yes, they have. And when we asked those people and we asked them, do you know somebody? You could tell all of their reaction was kind of ugh, yeah, I know somebody who has, kind of looking down upon that person. And me and Saya and most of the people in our broadcasting class don't condone any of that sort of action, and we think that it's wrong. But that doesn't mean there's a lot going on in everybody's lives. And sure, that's a shameful thing to do, and we don't think you should do that. But there could be more than one reason why people are sending that kind of content, and it could have been they regret it, or they were pressured into doing it, or they do it because they want to feel cool and they don't feel accepted by the people around them, which I think that ties in back to have you ever talked bad about another girl? Because most of these people who are talking bad about these other girls, and when we say stuff, that encourages other people to feel like they don't belong, and they do this kind of stuff and they send this kind of content so that they can belong and so that they can feel like somebody thinks they're cool, and the guys or the people that they're sending them to, oh, they might think I'm cool now because I sent them this picture of me, or I sent them this thing that they needed me to send them. And that's just, it's not. So even though you might be thinking oh, this is so terrible and so wrong and I don't like this person who sent it, well, if you're talking bad about them, it's almost like you're encouraging them to do something about it. You're encouraging them to do something, to send more so that they can feel like they are appreciated by someone.
Yes. I think it's really sad that a lot of girls are getting taken advantage of, and then basically the people who ask for these kinds of content, it's just really disgusting on why they do that, because our bodies are not objects for them to, use, because it's our body and we have feelings. And I'm pretty sure the girls who send this usually, they just want to be cool. They just want to feel cool. They just want to, feel like it's cool to do this, or they just want love, basically.
Yeah.
But it's really sad that some people are taking advantage of that and trying to use it for just disgusting reasons. And yeah.
We also just want to talk about, that's the end of our survey, but we just wanted to talk about how once you get into it, you have to support each other, and women have to support other women. And guys in middle school, I know some of you are just trying your best to get good grades and trying your best to like do good in sports and stuff, but we just need you to know that this kind of content is under no circumstances okay to ask for. And you may think it's like funny, it's a joke, it's like it's not that bad, it's not that harmful, but it really can be harmful to like the other girl or the person that you're asking. It can be really harmful to them mentally, and they may seem fine with it, but in the long run, when they grow up and when they realize like, oh, this was really crappy of this person to ask me to do. Like, you might think, oh, it's their fault for sending it, but they would have never sent it if you hadn't asked for it. So it's not entirely your fault, but you definitely did have a big part to play. And we don't want to put this on all guys, because we know we shouldn't just make an enemy out of all guys. Like, you shouldn't assume that a guy is bad just because he's a guy. But we just be aware of other people's feelings. And girls and guys alike, try just to think about what other people are going through and think about how this can affect them. And if you step into somebody else's shoes, think about how uncomfortable that can make them.
Exactly. I've heard men call girls' bodies like, they like fat shame sometimes, or skinny, like just body shaming sometimes. And I don't think that's okay, because a lot of girls deal with like just insecurity about their body. And I don't think having boys in the school, or even girls, I've heard girls also say it too, but I don't think that it's okay to say that stuff, because it can make somebody really insecure. And we don't want that, because I feel like we're all going through stuff in middle school, because middle school is hard, it's stressful, and I'm sure everyone here is stressed out with school. And we don't need to like add more pressure and weight to somebody else. And you might think it's not that big of a deal, but to that person it is. And so you need to take in mind of that. You gotta like think about what you're saying before you say it.
Mm-hmm. To them, to you, it just might be like words that you're saying and something that you're thinking, and it may be funny in the moment. But to that other person, it could mean a lot to them, and it could like make them feel super insecure. Next, we just want to bring up, this is more for jobs, and this is more for when you get into older like settings, but we wanted to bring up this nice little thing that we like to call the Respect Program. I found this and I thought it was really good. It's about jobs and bringing respect into like the workforce, and this may not be needed right now for middle school, but it is just like a great thing when you start getting jobs more into high school and when you start getting jobs in general. And respect, this acronym, stands for relationship skills strengthened. The E is empowerment of women. The S is services endured. The S is services ensured. The P is poverty reduced. The other E is environments made safe. The C is child and adolescent abuse prevented. And the T is transformed attitudes, beliefs, and norms. And this is just making the spaces that we work, and this could also be applied to school. This could be applied to anything, honestly, any community or any program that you're in. Just help implement these aspects and think about these aspects when you're joining something, when you're like making a group. It's just an all-around great thing to help everybody feel like they're being included and everybody feel like they're being respected. You can find more about this on the respect-prevent-vaw.org, and it'll just show you more about what they're about and what they're trying to do.
The last thing that we wanted to leave you with is the domestic abuse hotline. The number for it is 800-799-7233.
And again, thank you so much for listening to our newest podcast. Make sure to be on the lookout for the other episodes in this awareness campaign series. And if you're struggling with any of these issues, we want you to know that you're not alone. Feel free to reach out to the people at our school. And if you need help, reach out to Ms. Hurst, reach out to our counselors. We're all here to support you. And just remember, it's great to be a wily bulldog.